I'm Lindsay with Cullums. Welcome to the 9th episode of Cocktails with the Cullums.
I'm Paul with Cullums. We're here at our model at 7 Desert Mountain. And we're joined by Passion Graham, the Clubhouse Manager at Desert Mountain, and Ivan Carreno, who's going to introduce his Mezcal brand. And we're going to start with Passion giving us a little taste of what our favorite drink that we have up here at Desert Mountain, the Smokin Margarita.
Absolutely. Not only your favorite, a lot of people's favorite. So with the Smokin Margarita, we're going to start with the Camareno tequila. Just a dash, not too much, right? And then we also add in a little Grand Marnier. And Ivan approved. A little mezcal for that smokiness. And then we add a little lime juice, OJ, and some agave. Right. And then put that there. And while we're letting that sit, we have a little fun with our smoking gun. So what's a smoking margarita if it doesn't smoke? So we put that into the glass like so. Got that smoking.
And what chips did you use on that?
So we use the mesquite
okay,
chips in there, and it actually adds a little smokiness to it, and you can actually taste it. All right. There you go.
Yeah.
We didn't fill it up because we may or may not have already had a smoking margarita.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Passion.
All right, cheers.
Yeah.
And of course, there's a little tahini there around the rim. You like it?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Joe, turn over to Ivan Carreno to talk about Mezcal and his company.
Awesome, thank you. Well, after seeing those recipes, no wonder it's one of the favorites. I kind of want one now. Well, hey guys, my name is Ivan Carreno, and I am part of the Carreno family, which is the owner of Mezcal Carreno, some of the Carreno bottles that you kind of see back here. Just mezcal and tequila both come from the agave plants, but I'm gonna just kind of tell you quickly what the difference is for that. Think of it like an umbrella like wine. The umbrella for wine has different varietals of grapes, Merlot, Shiraz, Cabernet, and all of that, but everything is wine. And you don't go to a place and you don't say, I want a wine Merlot, you just say, I want a Merlot, and that they know that you're speaking about that. Except for one grape, which is very particular. It's not in a straight form down, it's more of a diagonal. It's the Pinot Noir grape. If it's the Pinot Noir grape from a northern part of Champagne, France, then you can't call it wine, you have to call it champagne. Theoretically, all champagne is wine, and wine, which is the father, will never be champagne. If you're still with me on that, that's the exact same thing for agaves. There's actually over 300 different species or varietals of agave plants. Anything that gets made from the agave plant, the umbrella for that is mezcal. And people don't know that. People think it's tequila, but it's not. It's mezcal. Mezcal is the father umbrella. Tequila, which comes from the Blue Weber Tequilana agave, is in diagonal form. If it comes from that specific agave, just like the Pinot Noir grape in a very specific region, the tequila region of Mexico, then you can't call it mezcal, you have to call it tequila. So in essence, all tequila is mezcal. Mezcal, which is the father, will never be tequila. Hope you guys learned something.
Wow, did not know that.
Today I'm just gonna grab one of these beautiful bottles that we've got back here that was inspired off of the Zapotec royalty, and I'm gonna be pouring it into some of these copitas that we've got as well, so you guys can try it neat. Oaxaca is Zapotec culture, which is pre-Hispanic, pre-Columbian, over 2,000 years old. Inside of the temple of Monte Alban, that's where all the kings are buried. And inside one of those chambers, they found a cup that had these little round nubs all around it. And so that's where we got our inspiration for our bottle. They call mezcal the drink of the gods. So when you drink a Carreno, you're drinking the god's juice out of a king's cup.
There you go.
So what I'm going to be pouring for you guys out, there's different varietals and species. You've got espadín, tobalá, tobasiche, tepestate. You've got coyote, jabalí, cuish, madre cuish, arroqueño, mexicano. There's over 300 different varietals. Only about 30 of them have a high concentration. Today, what I'm going to be pouring out for you guys neat is going to be our ensemble blend of 7. that won World's Best at San Francisco World Spirits Competition. It's the only one of its kind. We are the only company that has a blend of 7.
Wow.
And it was modeled for the 7 daughters that we have in our family. So this
How
one,
befitting that we're at 7 Desert Mountain.
I love how it all comes
It
together.
all comes together.
It all comes together. And that's why we picked it today, guys. So this one, just like the ladies that it was made to represent, it's going to be very neat and elegant, very delicate, very silky, very complex with lots of layers and lots of depth, but very well balanced with light lingering notes of pineapple and light smoke towards the back end of the palate.
Okay.
So now that you've had your cocktail, I'd like for you guys to try it just neat and tell me what you
Is
think.
there a specific way that we should taste mezcal?
Yes, you never want to shoot it because it's a gift from the gods. You're going to go ahead and sip on it. You're just going to go ahead and sip on it slowly. What you're going to do is with their first sip, kind of coat your palate and then kind of go down with it. You'll see that a lot of people do get turned off by mezcal because they've had a bad experience with maybe like a high school event or a college event where they kind of drink the one and not the one. We are kind of trying to shy away from that and trying to teach people the difference off of it. This one's going to have very light, subtle smoke, so you get to appreciate those flavors off of the agaves.
Very good, yeah. And so what gives it the kind of smokiness to it?
I'm glad that you asked that question. I've got a couple of props for you guys to see kind of here. What happens is the agave plants are basically kind of growing in nature until they're ready to be harvested. And when they're ready to be harvested, what they do is they kind of pull all of their sugar and all of their energy into its core, and they start to sprout up what's called achiote, which is the stalk that comes right out of the middle of them. That's when they have the most amount of sugars and the most amount of energy. At that point, what you're going to do is you're going to uproot it out of the ground. You're going to chop off all of the pencas, which are the leaves, because the leaves are very bitter. And then you're going to end up leaving it to what looks kind of like an artichoke looking. After that, you're going to go ahead and chop that in half. And the reason you do that is so it cooks evenly and to make sure there's no rot on the inside of that. The smoke is just a byproduct of the cooking process. You basically cook it in an earthen oven, which is inside the ground, and it's lined with lava rock. You get usually mesquite wood, or it's some type of encino wood, which is like an oak, whatever's readily available. And you get a good fire going in there, and then you start stacking up your hearts, your corazones, your piñas, and then you pull a tarp over that, and then you put about 2 feet of dirt on top of that. So it sits there and it's smoke. That's why. That's where it gets the smoky flavor. Because technology nowadays, you can do autoclaves, you can do stainless steel, you can do vapor rooms, you can do that. But that's technology that's recent within the last 75 to 100 years. Mezcal is the oldest spirit, so they had to cook it the old traditional way. That's where it gets that smoke from.
Okay, so traditionally when you think of mezcal, you think of the smokiness. That's in the way that it is cooked,
Processed.
different than tequila.
Correct.
Okay, yeah.
Correct, and that's the difference. After that, what you do is you take it out, and kind of just like a good steak, you never dive into it right away. You want to go ahead and let it rest for about 5 days on average, and then you put it on what's called a tahona. We've got a desktop version here. Your tahona gets pulled by a horse or a donkey, and it just kind of goes around in a circular form, and it just kind of squishes all the agaves. You get all that juice out, and then it's called mosto. Mosto, you got to let it ferment for a little bit, about 7 days on average, and then you go ahead and put it in what's called a copper alembic still. And we've got another desktop version off of it here. You basically open up your copper alembic still, you get all your mosto and you put it in here, you close it up and you put a slow simmer fire on the bottom of it. Slow simmer is because 92 to 94 is the evaporation temperature of alcohol. So all of those alcohol vapors are gonna start traveling up. They're gonna hit your transfer tube, which is gonna hit your condenser coil, which is gonna be inside of water. So it'll go from a gas into condensation, and out will shoot mezcal. And that's how you get it.
Wow. And so where do you make yours at?
We make ours in our hacienda, which is basically our ranch in Oaxaca. We've been producing since 1904, so that's kind of our history. But we're basically brand new to the States. We've only been in for about 2 years and 2 months.
Wow.
Yep. But we've seen a lot of support from the community. Thank you guys. Thank you, Passion. Thank you, Desert Mountain.
Yeah.
We've seen some awesome support.
Yeah. No, thanks for sharing that. This is great. Yeah.
Super good. So, Passion, how did you find Carreno and decide to bring it to Desert Mountain?
So at Desert Mountain, obviously it's always only the best, right? And so with all of the awards and everything that they had won, they were presented to my boss, the director of operations, and he asked me to have a meeting with Ivan. And you know, you're supposed to kind of have your poker face on when you're meeting with vendors because you don't want to let them know right away, like, yeah, you're in there. But as he was going through the process and talking, just like how we did today, he's so passionate about it and he truly believes in it, and it's an amazing product. And so yeah, it was a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer.
So is this at all the clubhouses or just Outlaw or just
So
Seven?
we have started at Outlaw, and starting next season, and this is actually the big announcement.
Oh, hey.
We are looking at expanding, starting down at 7. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome, yeah.
Thank you. Oh, it's super exciting.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
That's
It's
awesome.
For sure, for
So
sure.
could you share some of the, so you're a clubhouse manager of
Yeah.
7 different clubhouses here.
Yes.
Could you share kind of the cuisine and stuff and what's going on at the different clubhouses around Desert
Absolutely,
Mountain? Yeah.
absolutely. So Desert Mountain is quite the gem in the club world. We have as many different varietals, if you will, of clubhouses. So we'll start at 7. Of course, first place to start. Gastropub, a lot of comfort food down there, very family-centric environment, place where you're gonna bring the kids, you're gonna have fun, you're gonna play bocce, kids can run around and just have fun. Par 3 golf course, not just any par 3, only one of 2 USGA ranked in the world and only 1 in North America. So very awesome experience that you're gonna have there. Coming up the mountain, Renegade, that is our first clubhouse that established Desert Mountain. First Jack Nicklaus course, of which we have 6 at Desert Mountain, and we are actually in the process. This at the end of this season, Renegade is going to go dark, and we're going to bulldoze it and build a brand new clubhouse, and it's going to be an awesome brand new start. $16 million renovation that we're looking at doing there. Next clubhouse is going to be Cafe Verde, home of, the Sonoran Clubhouse, home of Cafe Verde. So that is where our spa and all of the fitness takes place. Cafe Verde is going to be where you're going to get your smoothies and kind of your lighter fare. And then we're going to Apache, which is going to be the quintessential steakhouse. And so if you want to have parties, we have an alcove and a little private dining area there. White tablecloths, really nice fine dining experience. Going further up the mountain, we go to our CG Clubhouse, which is where we house all of our events and parties and weddings and any type of celebration that you can possibly think of. We do host lunch there 7 days a week, but the nights are pretty much saved for those events and special occasions that members can book out. From there, we go up into the Sonoran Forest, where we have our Chiricahua Clubhouse. That's home to Constantino's and the Chiricahua Grill. So there, we're open 7 days a week for lunch. And then upstairs at Constantino's is where we have our Italian cuisine. And then going to the highest point on the mountain outside of the gates is our Outlaw Clubhouse, where we have our Mexican cuisine and also home of Carreno Mezcals. Yeah.
Awesome. That's the great thing about Desert Mountain is you get 7 clubhouses and all the restaurants.
I'm telling
we come
you.
up here to 7 all the time, and the kids love it.
It's
Yeah.
their favorite place to come
They
to
need
dinner.
more kids here than probably in the neighborhood sometimes.
Yeah.
Right?
It's been great, yeah.
Which is awesome, and we love hosting you here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. We'll turn it over. Are there any questions online?
No.
No? Okay.
Rodney,
We want to
that's
do.
not something. Well, right behind
Do a
us, we're down here in the basement of our model at 7. It's a 9,600 square foot house right on the 7 golf course. It kind of looks back down towards the 7 clubhouse, and then when you're sitting at the 7 clubhouse, you can look up at the Flying V roof, and that's where we are right now. So Alexis, if you just go around here, the golf simulator with Paul's going to test out for you in a little bit. This is our car bar, signature car bar. This is the second model we've done with one of these. The lift in the distance connects to a single bay garage. There's like a scissor lift underneath that platform, and you can keep your car collection down where you're entertaining with your bar and your golf simulator. Ping pong instead of pool, just a little more fun and youthful. And then on the wall here in the theater space, we have the quad TV. This was one of the first installations of the quad TV in the state. It's actually 4 televisions together, and the top 2 are mounted upside down. So our AV team wrote the code to flip half of the picture upside down, so you can actually watch one big movie or sporting event, or you can watch 4 different events there on that screen. And of course, panning back to the beautiful bar here. meant to display the liquor collection. Claire Ownby, the owner of Ownby Design, and I, as we were designing this home with CP Druitt from Druitt Works and Wendell Pickett from Bree Pickett, who also designed the golf course. We all have a mutual love of mezcals and tequilas, and so in addition to our more traditional wine cellar to the side, we wanted a way to display that shared enjoyment of tequila and mezcal, so we developed this bar here to show that off.
How many cars will fit in the car bar?
You could probably fit 4 to 5, depending on what kind of car you're doing. And we have done in the past where you kind of leave the lift part way up, so you can leave a car on the lift. That would make it 6. I don't know, if you're displaying old Bel Airs, it's going to be, they're longer, then not as many fit, or old British sports cars like an MG, it might.
You probably fit 8 or 9 in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to take
Awesome.
show
Yeah.
the golf simulator?
So we'll show the golf simulators. This is the Rod calls the 19th hole here at 7 Desert Mountain. It's set up as a golf simulator, but you can also do all sorts of other sports. It's the HD Sports simulator, so you can do football, soccer, shooting, hockey. So the kids actually love coming up here to play. But right now we have it at Pebble Beach. So if I missed this shot, it was because Rod taught me how to golf. If I make it good, it was also because Rod taught me how to golf, I guess.
In the water.
So in the water.
Oh,
there we go. Awesome. Well, any other questions? Awesome. Okay. Well,
Ivan,
thanks.
do you want to take a swing?
Yeah.
I can definitely try to take a swing.
There we go. Let's see.
I know mezcal and tequila, okay? So just don't hold that against me.
Judgment-free zone. Judgment-free zone.
Nice.
Not bad. Look at that. All right.
All right. That's it.
Awesome.
Well, this was awesome. Thank y'all
Yeah.
so much for the opportunity to come and share.
Yeah,
with
thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you for coming and sharing with us and sharing your story. It's really fun to hear about what your family's doing as a family-owned company, and we get that, and your appreciation for your craft, and just hearing about the process and how you go about, like, all this love that goes into what you do. I really have an even deeper appreciation for your absolutely delicious mezcals. Anyway, now they're even better in my mind. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for sharing your story.
Thank you guys for having us. I
Awesome.
appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.